Ladies and gentlemen, our next session is on common onboarding journey for Rupay credit cards, co-created by NPCI and Perfios. And to present this, we have with us Amitava Banerjee, Senior Lead Solution Embedded Payments, NPCI, and Vinay Satyanarayan, VP Products, Perfios. Can we please have them on stage, please?
Morning, everyone. So today we're talking about the common onboarding journey, first kind of a solution which we built from the co-creation innovation vertical within NPCI. So this vertical formed last year, and this we launched in the last year GFF along with Perfios. So the main objective of this co-creation vertical is to build something for the ecosystem with the ecosystem player. And when we start doing the thought process of what are the problem statement we have in the ecosystem, the main problem statement we found like the digital onboarding journey for a credit card issuance. And there are lots of problems from the consumer point of view. So one of the problem, like it's built on the 4 pillars, like increased adaptation, reduced drop-off, reduced documentation, and a smooth journey for the consumer. Now think about from the consumer point of view, when a consumer wants a credit card, in current scenario, he will have all the bank's option where he'll get the credit card, but actually he doesn't know what are the options from the available from the bank side, what are the features available on those credit cards. But without knowing all those information, he starts the journey, lots of documentation he has to provide, and at the end of the journey, he may realize that he is not applicable for the credit card, and then the drop-off will increase, and bank is also suffering for that. So keeping that problem statement in mind, what we thought like, why don't you create a simplified journey for the consumer instead of showing the bank option at the very first stage. We'll do the platform will do the initial check of that consumer based on different data points what we have, like the soft pull check from the different credit unions, and then the Aadhaar, KYC check, address verification, and so on and so forth. And based on all those checks, once we get the details like what is his eligibility matrix driven from the platform, based on that eligibility matrix, we can show him like as per that data, he can get the cards from this different bank, where he can get a view of like if he is eligible for 4 or 5 banks, he can get a view of what are the 4 or 5 banks features are for each of the card and what are the product they have for each of the Rupay credit card. And then he can select that card and then take the journey. So we are trying to reduce as much friction of the consumer and the bank's process as possible, so that the total journey we can reduce to a time frame of within 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. And at the end of the journey, he can get the card as also a virtual card, which he can immediately enable for the UPI app, and he can start using. So think about a scenario when the consumer is traveling somewhere and he get the card at that immediate moment. So with these features, he can have that features available within a blink of an eye. And we start this journey with, as I said initially, like with the co-creation framework. So this framework is basically starts with the problem statement, then the selection of the partner through our framework what we have built within NPCI. We ask the solution concept from the partner. We go through the different workshop with the partner, which we did also with the Vinay and team. And finally, we build the prototype and then start the POC. So how exactly the solution is working, I request Vinay to take you all through. Thank you.
So considering this, one of the things that problem that Amita also mentioned is that can there be a common onboarding that happens irrespective of the card issuers that comes, whether it is a Yes Bank card issuer, an ICICI or a Bank of Baroda, etc. Now, the customer has shown an interest. Let's say the customer scans a QR code, or the customer says, I want a Rupay card in certain portal or a shop or anywhere, can scan a QR code and start the journey, can take a link and start the journey. There is a common onboarding platform where some of the things we'll just showcase it. So there is a common onboarding where customer comes, gives their common information about the customer, PAN or Aadhaar, and a couple of other details that is needed based on the bureau score. A digital and verification, qualification, etc. So the card issuers can say that I need certain customers from a tier 1 city who has some kind of a bureau score and this kind of a profile, etc. So only those lead qualification goes to them. The entire journey further on, in case they want to do an additional underwriting through by taking a bank statement or a payslip, can later be accommodated. And the entire journey is completely seamless, completely digital. The plan is to issue the card in less than 10 minutes. And in a common onboarding, irrespective of the issuer, issue the Rupay card. So a lead goes to the card issuer does their KYC process, looks at it, if needed, do an underwriting, come up with a limit, and the customer accepts the card, and then says that this is a card that they want, and the card gets issued. So all this possible within 10 minutes on a common onboarding platform, which means the customer today struggles when they want to, the way the mechanism works when it's a Bank of Baroda card as compared to an Yes Bank, as compared to an ICICI, the journey is very different. The data points that are asked from the customer is also different, which means the onboarding process becomes extremely difficult as and when things move. So can it be made a common one? That's where the solution approach has come in. So simple things to be done here. One is the mobile number verification that happens through an OTP. There is an eKYC check validation for PAN and Aadhaar. If not Aadhaar, other provisions can be made as an voter ID or a DL or a passport. A bureau fetch happens. Now, for existing to bureau, there is a card issuers can give a cutoff score for their bureau, what they expect, etc. And there is some kind of a lead filtration that happens before even it is sent to the card issuer, saying that I need a bureau of certain people, certain serviceability, certain demographics, etc. And then the lead goes and the lead is fulfilled to issue the card. Now the spend that the card issuer has to make, because many of this marketing campaign has been taken up by the NPCI to issue the Rupay card, is the spend that the card issuer has to make is negligible in terms of acquiring a customers and issuing a card. So for a customer, it's an instant card issuance, minimal documentation, frictionless, multiple card options. There can be two card issuers saying that I'll give one of them giving a platinum card, other one giving a silver card, and the customer can choose what they want. There could be for an issuers get filtered leads. It's not that you will get all kinds of leads that you want to process it. Complete no development effort. It's largely a plug and play framework that is co-creation that has been done between NPCI and Perfios. And the cost of acquisition is reduced because NPCI is largely taking care of the marketing activities to do the Rupay card, cashback on that, etc. You are not skipping any due diligence. There is a support for an NTB, ETB, extension support for an NTC, etc. So it is completely compliant with all the regulations here. Now, I'll skip the architecture part where there are sourcing channels, there is a Perfios credit gateway, and then there are bureau scores that comes, and lead filtration that happens. And then it connects to the multiple card issuers to issue it. But I'd rather show the demo on how the journey works. So this is the journey where the customer gives the mobile number, gets the OTP, like any standard journey. So that part is, we all know that how that it works. An OTP comes, the customer enters the OTP, and then starts the journey with the PAN and Aadhaar. So the customer can enter the appropriate PAN, all those trivial validations, name checks, the threshold checks, etc. can be done. And then Aadhaar OTP is validated from the UID. So that will give a complete hold of the PAN name, verification, details from Aadhaar, PAN, etc. And the customer can always say it's a very different address, residential address from what is there in the Aadhaar that is captured. And now the bureau score comes. Now the bureau score comes, the customer can say that yes, I'll continue showcase to this. And then the entire card issuance at the background, the system is hitting multiple card issuers based on the lead qualification. And let's say in this case, one of the card has come. Let's say an Yes Bank Platinum card. Now once the customer selects that Yes Bank Platinum card, the journey is completely routed to the Yes Bank, where the customer would give the details about the customer in terms of the address or whether it is a salaried, self-employed, and other details. The bank can always reissue the limit. So let's say the bank would say that the 50,000 limit is there, but I want to reissue the limit to 2 lakhs based on certain more financial underwriting to be done. Those provisions are there. At the end of it, the customer would do an e-sign, do the KYC part, and the card is issued seamless way. The advantage in this case is the customer is on the top to do the entire selection of which card is the most beneficial for them. among all the Rupay cards issued by an S Bank or an ICICI or Bob or any one of them, which is the most beneficial card that they would want to have. That selection is there, and the complete digital journey in terms of getting the OTP, card issuance, all within less than 10 minutes. And integrations for a card issuer in this case is very minimal. So for a card issuer, the campaign management is handled by NPCI, technology is handled by Perfios. They'll have to more worry about the policy on which they have to issue the limit. The rest of them is taken care of. So the parties involved are one, NPCI. Thanks for NPCI, Amitabh and team here who have been working with Perfios for a lot of co-creation here to build this kind of a common onboarding platform for the issuance of the Rupay card. Perfios has been building this solution with NPCI, multiple KYC validations, onboarding, underwriting journeys, lead filtrations, the entire tech stack development. And issuers, whoever is the eligible issuers, that the card issuers that gets onboarded. We started with Yes Bank and few more banks that have been lined up as a part of the card issuers of the Rupay Bank. Fundamentally, the number of touch points that is there for card issuers is only 3. And that's what gives them a complete full suite of card onboarding journey for Rupay card.
Just it's not working. Check. So just to add what Vinay just said, like this entire journey, we are trying to see if we can make it a standard journey for the ecosystem, for the Rupay issuance, and to increase the issuance rate of the Rupay. And this is one of the journey we have created with Perfios. There are other multiple things we are working on as part of this co-creation vertical. We are trying to see if we can bring the alternate credit scoring and the virtual card issuance as part of this journey. Because ACS is another things which is currently in the market, which is almost all the issuers is looking for. Although things are not very formalized right now, but the NPCI team is working on that. So that's about it. And from the audience, like if anyone wants to build something with the NPCI for the ecosystem, the co-creation vertical is there. I would request everyone to go through this platform, reach out to us, and try to build something for the ecosystem with you guys who are the ecosystem player. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. I know early morning, 9:30 Mumbai at this part of the town, how tough it is to be a part of this. If you have any queries, concerns, happy to take that either here or one-on-one, either with Perfios or with NPCI. Thanks, everyone.